Okay, guys. It's Old Man G here, back to you again for Red Devil Studio, and it's been confirmed. It's finally been confirmed. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is completing a medical and will be officially unveiled as a Manchester United player, hopefully today or tomorrow, I would imagine. But yes, it is. We have signed Aaron Wan-Bissaka for reportedly 50 million, as reported by BBC, Telegraph. I'm probably late with this news, so multiple outlets, trustworthy outlets, have confirmed that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is basically signing for Manchester United. So I'm not going to dwell on the fact that we've signed. We have effectively signed him. We'll just wait for the basically a veil and the official announcement by Manchester United Football Club. But I guess want to use this episode really just to talk about, I guess, what are the expectations around Wan-Bissaka? What do we expect from him, from Manchester United fans? What do you feel that he will provide? What do you feel he will do? So I'll start, I think, for me with the expectations. To be honest, I think that our expectations right now are quite low, given essentially that our de facto right back for the last couple of seasons has been Ashley Young, who was much more of an ex-winger. It's almost like anything is improvement over Ashley Young, and that's good, but that's kind of bad in a way, you know. So because you could argue that because Ashley Young has been so bad recently as a right back, like a chicken blindfolded to a certain extent, it could be better than a right back in some games. And so the quality right back that we're bringing, I think Aaron Wan is a very good right back, but at the same time, I feel that time will tell whether he is basically the solution for a right back. Obviously, Diego Dalot is there, who will be there. And they're around, and this is the thing, they're around about the same age. I think Dalot is 19, turning 20, I think. So maybe, okay, Wan-Bissaka's 1 year older, you know, so he's still a young player, you know, still developing, you know, and while he had a very, very good team with Crystal Palace last season, we just need to be careful that we don't put a lot of expectation on him, because again, we viewed Diego Dalot as like, okay, up and coming, filling the role, etc. But we're almost viewing Wan-Bissaka as like, right, okay, he's ready. He's going to step up. He's going to be our first choice right back, which he should be. But I'm just saying that we need to not sort of go from zero to hero just like that. No, zero to hero just like that, Hercules. We need to bear in mind he is still a young player, still developing, and we do need to give him time. But he will make mistakes, although I'd argue hopefully less than Ashley Young. So we should really, I believe anyway, that we should actually have our expectations, or keep our expectations low, or at the very least reasonable, and allow him time to adjust to the Manchester United style formation play. Give it a season and a bit, and then obviously we can make our conclusion of how good or bad he is at right back, bearing in mind again of his age and what have you. So that's basically that's my 2 cents in that respect. Looking forward to it. I think it's a very good signing, very good potential signing. But I do think it's best that we keep our expectations on the low side, and at the same time, but at the same time also not being too shy of being critical, because like I said earlier, anyone is an improvement over Ashley Young, and just because we have an improvement over Ashley Young doesn't mean that that person is necessarily going to be a really good right back. An improvement, yes, but you know we still might we still might need, and I think one of the weaknesses around Wan-Bissaka that were noted last season, which hopefully with better players and hopefully more attack-minded focus will be better, is that him going forward he's not great going forward. Great defensively, which quite frankly we need, because we were conceding a lot of goals last season. But going forward, not so much. So that's something that needs to be worked on. Whereas you could argue Dalot, for example, is the opposite. very good going forward, but defensively not so great. So we have to sort of find that balance, I think. Um, okay, so yeah, okay, so um, what else really? But I mean, I think that I think that he will be. I think that he will be a good right back, and I think it's positive that we did sign him young because we could effectively get 10 years out of this player. We signed him for 50 million, which is lower than the reported 55, 60, even 70. So it's interesting. It stands to reason because last couple of weeks we're basically negotiating with Crystal Palace over the price. So if we agreed with Crystal Palace for 50 million, then I wonder why they had such an issue earlier. That means that we probably started bidding at like what 25, 30 maybe. I mean, come on. I mean, as a side note, I'll just take a side note here. One of the frustrating things about this transfer window so far, and the impression I'm getting, is that United have the money. They do. I know we're blowing a lot of Alexis Sanchez, but we do have the money. And I feel that Ed Woodward, our negotiators, just seem to be starting very, very low. We could sign key players, but we seem to be bidding very, very low initially. And we get rejected bids, and then we go back again, and so on, and it just slows down the process. I didn't expect, to be honest, for us to sign Wan-Bissaka for any less than £50 million. Why? Because the last couple of years, Carl Walker, John Stones, and the like all went for 50 million. I mean, yes, possibly if you go across Europe, you might be able to get someone for slightly cheaper, possibly. But the England premium and being in the Premier League, it was going to be at least £50 million. No more, no more, no less. Well, okay, maybe more. So I just don't see the point in haggling if you have an idea or even a basic understanding of how the market is, especially in the Premier League. Just go in for that initial offer and call it a day. Simple as that. So we can actually direct our time and focus on other signings. Which brings me on to the question for you guys. How do you think that we're going to line up at the back next season? Hopefully David De Gea stays. We obviously got Wan-Bissaka now, who can also do Diego Dallo. Lindelof is there. And then it's just anyone's choice who partners with Lindelof. Do you bring in Smalling? Do you have a fit Eric Bailly? I would put a fit Eric Bailly over Lindelof any day over Smalling and Jones. But Eric Bailly came unfit, so Smalling comes in. Jones, no thanks. But we do need to sign a solid centre back. Are we in for Koulibaly? Or after certain comments, maybe not. I'm still leaning towards not, given his release clause and given how the fact that we seem to be haggling quite a lot. And then left back, obviously got Luke Shaw. So the positive, we already, our back four already looks a lot better, although that wasn't particularly difficult if we took Ashley Young out of it going into next season. But I still think we really need to solidify that centre-back position, and hopefully David De Gea signs a contract and picks up some form, because he was quite sloppy towards the end of last season, costing us quite a few points. So yeah, all I can say is welcome to Manchester United and Wan-Bissaka. I hope that he has a very, very good season. I expect the fans to give him the utmost support, and most of all, I expect us to give him time. Okay, so I hopefully he hits the ground running. Hopefully sorts in. He's got Premier League experience, So, but I still think we need to give him time to adjust, and just bear in mind that he is still there's literally only a year between him and Dallo, and yet we're treating Dallo as a sort of young up and coming type of see what happens. But Wan-Bissaka is like, whoa, okay, step up, man. We just need to keep our expectations reasonable. And just remember that there are a lot of other positions, I would argue a lot of other priority positions, that need to be filled, even more so than the right back position. And that includes centre-back, a defensive midfield player, most definitely a right winger, a natural right winger, and given what's happening with Lukaku, a forward. Those are four positions that we need to fill, especially if Lukaku goes, if Pogba goes, so, as much as I love that we sign Wan-Bissaka, I really, really hope that this isn't the last signing of the summer, because we have a lot of priority signings to make to fill in some big positions. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks again for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studios. Follow us on Twitter at We Are UnitedX. And have a good evening. Take care and cheers.